All right, so then our last category before we get to like our assorted category
Mhm,
is fighting movies. So boxing,
mhm.
I guess like karate, whatever. But
Yeah,
I'm mostly boxing. You want to go first on this one?
sure. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
cool.
Alright, so for me, like, I actually was between, like, quite a few for the third.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, there's a lot, and, like, I don't know. But for me, I put Creed because I don't know, but for some reason, like, I honestly really did like the Creed story. I thought it was a really refreshing take on what they did with Rocky. Like, it wasn't like, it wasn't just like the same exact Rocky. I mean, like, obviously it had a lot of the elements of it, but it was also kind of Rocky for a new generation,
Hmm.
while also trying to update to like how society is now and more of a current kind of speaking. But I don't know. So I think for that, like, that's why I kind of really liked it. And of course, like, it's the kind of classic like Rocky, he's going to fight someone way above his weight class, but and he still like does well in the end. So I don't know, that's why I like that one. Then two, Warrior. This is one I don't know if a lot of people know, but like when you told me boxing slash fighting, this is one of the ones I was like, oh shit. I was like, this definitely in my list because it's just like such a good one. Like it's such a good story. Like and the fight at the end, the two brothers, and it's just like it was just like damn. Like, I don't know. Them putting them all on the line. That was just a great movie. And then first, if I had Creed at three, Rocky's my number one. So I mean,
Yeah.
Italian Stallion, there's nothing greater than that. It has like a
Yeah.
pure like boxing underdog story. That's it. It's Rocky.
For
At
sure.
least for
For
me.
sure. Yeah. No, Warrior is the only reason that I named this category fighting instead of boxing. Because, spoiler alert, I'll skip my number three. Warrior is my number
Mm,
two, also. Amazing movie, just
mm,
crazy good. And then people are gonna get mad at me for this again, but I flipped your one and your three. I like Creed more than I like Rocky.
wow.
I know,
Interesting.
I know that's like controversial. I know people are gonna come at me for that. So
I thought
Rocky
like
was
I was
three.
like pushing it with Creed at three. I thought people
No,
like I don't know because he got Raging
Creed to me
Bull.
is
He's
the
number
best
one.
boxing movie, and this is where I took some liberty. It's obviously not the most classic, but in
Yeah.
terms of the actual boxing in it, for example, if you ask
Yeah.
boxers, they will all tell you it's the most realistic. It's like the
Yeah.
most gritty. It's the most real boxing story. I love Rocky. Rocky did a lot in terms of like being a classic. There would be no Creed without Rocky. I recognize that.
Mhm.
But you watch the fights
Mhm.
and you can see 3 inches of air between the glove and the guy who's
Yeah.
going, ugh. It's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's also the 70s. Like I gotta give it credit for what it is. It's my number three. It's just a classic.
Mhm.
But Creed is just such a good movie, and it's based on the Rocky, so like it brings it, like you said, into a modern
Yeah.
age. It brings more depth to the characters. Rocky's a pretty one-dimensional character, and then Rocky in the Creed movies is even a better character than he was in his
Oh
own.
yeah, no, 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 that I definitely agree with. Sylvester Stallone
So
was actually
that's why I
extremely
went
good
with that.
in
That's
Creed.
why I went with that personally. But I can see why people would disagree, and I think I'm not mad at your list at all. I
All
would
right,
say just missing out on my three spot, and again, a very underrated movie is Million Dollar Baby.
I've actually never seen that one.
It's crazy good. Clint Eastwood as the boxing coach is really, really like on point.
Or maybe I
One
have
of the
seen like clips of it, but or like
yeah,
parts of it. But
one
yeah,
of the best. And then the not final scene, but like towards the end, the scene is powerful. You know what I'm talking about when you've seen it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty straightforward. The only other movies I thought about, like Southpaw, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal,
Mm-hmm.
good
I'm thinking that one
has a
too.
pretty good montage in that one, like a good training montage,
Oh yeah, with
music.
the Eminem
Oh,
song.
I
I
almost
just
forgot. Creed, yeah. See,
this
that's
shit.
right.
That was a great
Yeah.
montage.
Another reason, right, Creed is number one to me is because obviously Rocky created the whole training montage. Like that was what made
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But the music in Creed for the training montages is
Oh yeah,
impeccable. The
yeah. No,
soundtrack,
that's
I
pretty
have
good.
this whole soundtrack downloaded as an album, and I'll listen to
It's
it separately while I work out. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, for a little bit, I feel like a hot black dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel good about myself listening to that music. I feel like I'm a boxer, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's
No,
that's
definitely.
classic.
That was a good soundtrack too. I won't
Other
lie.
movies, let me see, Ali, Raging Bull, and
Mm.
The Fighter. Those were the other ones that I had listed,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
made my top three.